Hello, and welcome to yet another completely unprofessional unboxing. Scott here, and today's package that I received is a hefty one, which tells me there's going to be a lot of RPG goodness inside of it. And on a side note, this also comes from a company that I have backed several times before. I believe that this is the third one, maybe the fourth, but definitely possibly the third. And if I can say a lot of good things about this company, but most of which, if there is a publisher or group of individuals that have created these RPGs, ran a masterclass on how to handle and fulfill Kickstarters, I would suggest signing up for them because they are top notch. So, well, without further ado, let's take a look and see what is inside. All right, so yes, it takes up the entire screen. It's not huge, but it's obviously dense because I don't really remember what the fulfillment is, but it's either a lot of goodness or a big chunky bit of goodness. So let's take a look inside. All right, trusty Coleman camping staking knife here, and we have yet to have an injury. So place your bets now if today is the day. All right, there we go. And mind you, I may look awkward handling this, but also note that I am surrounded by a microphone and cameras in a tight spot. So I've had concerns about, handling this particular knife, but know that there is not a lot of space to maneuver. But I refuse to give up my trusty Coleman camping steak knife to go to a better cutting tool because we need to remain some form of unprofessional aspects within this channel. Jesus Christ. There we go. All right. So let's see here. Let's go and take this out. And ooh, God. Oh, it's a box set. I don't remember this. And a big, heavy, chunky book. All right. So, let's move Mr. Box out of the way. There we are. And set this down inside. Take the plastic wrap off of this so it doesn't reflect too much. And yeah, this is more with surgical precision. There we are, because we don't want to ruin the book. And as you can see, even though there's probably a reflection coming from it, oh, there's a dent on there. Well, no worries. Maybe we'll contact them and see about it. But, I love these guys so much that a little dent, it doesn't really mean that much to me on the book. But still, we'll see how that goes. It's not the end of the world. But what do we have here? We have The Blessed and the Blasphemous for Call of Cthulhu by the ever-loving Sons of the Singularity. And within this tome, looks like the authors that are involved in this particular project are, oh boy, Aquarone. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Chandler, Bass, Sheets, and Kovner. So, yes, now that I think about it, this is the third one that I backed from these guys, and it just seems to be every one that they do just gets better and better looking. Obviously, this is for Call of Cthulhu. Oh, yeah, there's another dent there. Oh, no. Oh, well. And a lot of their games are set, aren't really necessarily set in the standard 1920s area. But they tend to pick particular historical points in time to have their campaigns set in, all of which are fantastic. And I think I'm safe to assume that this is another one. But let's take a read of it. Take a read about it. God, I can't talk today. Let's take a read on the back and see what this particular one is about. Cosmic horror and intrigue, set in North Africa at the onset of World War II. The Blessed and the Blasphemous offers a gripping tale set in the tumultuous backdrop of North Africa at the onset of World War II. This 7-scenario Call of Cthulhu campaign immerses players in a harrowing journey across diverse locations from the bustling Casablanca seaport to the majestic peaks of the Atlas Mountains. Delve into the depths of human depravity and ancient eldritch lore as you unravel the clues pointing to a peril that threatens the very fabric of our world. Sold. Sounds fantastic, and definitely something that would be interesting to roleplay in the World War II setting, and that isn't dealing with oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on the Achtung Cthulhu. Jeez, it's been a rough day, y'all. So again, the Sons of Singularity put out excellent scenarios, very well researched, in-depth details for the era that the campaign takes place in, and it just immediately just looks like, they've put a lot of effort into this one to provide a very intriguing and in-depth campaign, numbering, let's see, how many pages is this? To the end, including the acknowledgments, 340. So, my God, this is on the level of a Masks of Nyarlathotep or Horror on the Orient Express campaign. Let's just take a look here. So, we have on our table of contents an introduction along with the timeline, historical overview, and so on. Jumping into the scenario, Scenario 1, he Who Stands on the Mountains. Scenario 2, The Blessed Twin Sisters. Scenario 3, The Dossier Monk. Scenario 4, Scenario 4, A Lodestone Compass. An optional scenario, Horror in the Hammam. Scenario 5, The Missing Lawyer. Scenario 6, closing with The Lost City of Pillars, along with the appendix. So I'm just going to go ahead and read a bit of special things here, which is always nice to see in these books. So CamCon gamers and playtesters: Melody Rempel, James Rempel, Anya Therian, Trevor Sponagle, David Vrane, Ludo Chabant. Hey, Ludo. Katia Salmon, Dmitry Kotlyarov, Aaron Kopp, Bill Carlson, Mike Dowd, James Drucker. Well, at least it's spelled correctly, right, James? Joseph Spino, and CamCon itself, along with Jason Olin for his support on the wildlife and geography sections, Christian Widmer for his support on German language use, Tristan Narborough for his generous proofreading assistance. Hey, Tristan. Matilde Aquarone, God, I am so sorry, for extensive research in various archives. Podcasters, Storyteller Conclave, Smoking Dragons, DM Matt, Slices and Dices, and other allies, Bud's RPG Review, Rolling Boxcars, Bob Geis of U2 Can Cthulhu, and Jared of Bayat Al-Azif. Wonderful names there. Know several of them, and you can ask for better people to help you out, support, playtest, and spotlight your game in the hobby. All right, so let's just take a look through here. Immediately, the first thing that stands out is it's a decent layout, good size font for those of us whose eyes are starting to fail us in our later years, and immediately you are hit with photographic artwork detailing the era of the time. So I wonder if it's a mixture of photorealistic pictures in here and art. We will see. So we've got just essentially giving historical and local details of the area that you're going to be playing within, not unsimilar to how Masks of Nyarlathotep set you up for the campaign to better immerse yourself in the scenarios, the era, and the locations that you're playing in. So there we go. So we start getting into a lot of the NPCs. Yes, looks like the profile artwork for the NPCs. I'll need to see, is his name on here? Art attribution and rights. cave painting. Shoot, I don't see all portraits created by L. Hisang. Yes, I think. He's the one who's done the NPC profile artwork, and he was the one who did the wonderful and complimentary piece for both Keith and myself in one of their prior scenarios, showing myself as a pirate tavern owner and Keith as the current mayor of Havana, I believe, during a Age of Sail Call of Cthulhu scenario. So flipping through as we go through. So yeah, so there's a campaign this size obviously is going to have a lot of NPCs, so they're very generous in the details that they provide you with the short biography, description, details regarding his position within the mythos, things you ought to know about him, and a darker side, which should help you roleplay these NPCs a lot easier, which is extremely helpful when you are dealing with a scenario this size and having to play with so many NPCs, and you don't lose yourself in trying to diversify them and make them stand out amongst the other non-player characters within the campaign. So let's see. So we got antagonists of the blessed and the blasphemous. So along with several faction leaders and details. This is World War II, so we're going to get a lot of horrible Nazis that you would be more than happy to punch in the face. And the way that their profiles are detailed, they definitely stand out amongst others. So we've got some era poster artwork within here, which is cool. And so yeah, so what they do is a lot of the NPCs in this game are people who have backed the Kickstarter at a particular level, or friends of the Sons of Singularity, and so they will do a portrait of you as one of the NPCs. And again, it's done very, very well, excellent, and it's done in a style that it makes it believable. You look like you are of the era. It's just not a Photoshop picture of your head on an era-specific shoulders, which can look out of place, especially with modern haircuts. Sometimes people wearing eyeglasses that aren't of the time, so it can kind of take you out of the scenario, as opposed to just providing you an established look for the NPC. So we're just kind of skip over some of the things here as we go in. So yes, this is definitely a scenario that you're going to want to plan for, because it seems like, as it said, 7 chapters, over 340 pages total, and also something else here on the side I'll get to in a moment. But I can definitely guarantee, well, I can't personally guarantee because everyone has their own personal taste, but I could hope that, this would definitely be something that's going to be very engrossing, and something that you are going to enjoy as you live and breathe within this world that they've created for you. There's some beautiful artwork of, it looks like some sort of bat creature. I don't have encyclopedic knowledge of all of the monsters of the mythos, so I really couldn't tell you if that is something established or something that they've created specifically for this scenario. So continue to flip through. Looks like we've got what would probably be a handout of a newspaper and other things in here. And there's no shortage of handouts that are, they are wonderfully detailed. I mean, they're not H.P. Lovecraft Society, but those are detailed because you're paying a premium for them. But it's nice to see that they do have a bit of artistic integrity involved with them, and it's not just a throwaway piece of a handout just for you to just show to your players and move on. Try your best to keep your Call of Cthulhu players, well, actually in any handouts. If you're playing in a game and you're not happy with the way the handouts look, take a moment. Make your own. It always is nice when a GM who is providing handouts, tries to make it somewhat immersive when they're doing them, rather than just, here's some throwaway bit of artwork with a bit of information for you to use as a clue It's just a nice touch. And carrying on, as you can see, as mentioned before, just a lot of detail and a lot of, research, heart and soul is put into these scenarios, and it shows. All right, so optional scenario, we're nearing the end as we carry on. And looks like they, rather than just provide you with a set of stats, look like some of the NPCs have a full character sheet, which is nice. I can't tell you how many times a particular situation has come up in, Call of Cthulhu scenario or any scenario that doesn't provide you detailed stats for the character sheet, and you have to roll for something that comes up that you may not be prepared for, and you just don't have anything there to do. So, you try to do it on the cuff, but it does make it helpful to fit within a particular person that you know what all their skills are. It's all about the immersion when it comes to particular NPCs, especially key NPCs within the game. It's nice to keep them living and breathing as long as possible for you get into the mechanics, and it always sucks to go, oh, well, they don't have something for this basic skill or ability or trait. Now I need to figure out what to do, and the game stalls out for a moment. All right, and general information in the backs and the appendices, and we conclude with alternate language handouts. So, so see, again, as stated, they didn't have to do this. Obviously, these handouts, as you find them within the game, looks like they're in German. But it is a nice touch when you have these handouts, if your player characters don't understand German, to take a look at them as they were meant to be seen, and then provide an English translation if they're able to speak it, or find someone to translate it for them, once they do. And we got some pre-gen characters here in the back, and then we will end with acknowledgments. And where did I come in on? I think I am at the Blasphemous. I thought I went full in on this, but I could be wrong. Let's see here. Let's go. Here we go. There I am, right there. So the Blasphemous. I think the Nug and the Yub was the ones that that back at the level that you get an image done for of yourself as an NPC. So, and the end. All right. Very beautiful book. Wonderful, wonderful layout. Sounds like an interesting scenario. The cover itself is just to die for. This is absolutely beautiful. The style of it comes in a hardback book. Their previous ones were, I think, paperback, and then another one was a hardback. I could be wrong. I'd have to go look. It's been so long. But again, the Sons of the Singularity run a tight ship when it comes to their Kickstarters and fulfillment. And that tight ship that they run pays out in continued patronage from me and several others. And not just that, but also what they provide. So excellent customer service, you could say, and also what they provide is just as excellent. So I can't say enough good things about Sons of Singularity. Again, this is a first impression, not necessarily a review, because I obviously have not read it. But if I had seen this particular book in a friendly local game store or other establishment, of course, immediately, looking at this cover would draw me in instantly. It would take a bit of time to flip through it because it's so dense, but the general premise of the scenario on the back, as it states, is an era that I would be interested in Call of Cthulhu. I know a lot of people enjoy role-playing in that era due to Achtung Cthulhu. But it would definitely draw my interest. Going into it, seeing how well it's produced and what it provides would be a definite buy for me, and hopefully several others who take a look at this video. So information will be provided for it in the description. But before we conclude, there was another thing that came with it. So let me move this out of the way. And we have a box set. The blast and the blessed, the blasphemous and the blasphemous. Blah, blah, blah. The blessed and the This game campaign dossier. I think Handouts is what this is, along with other information. That's what I assume. But again, in a just, in a beautiful box set. And box sets are always great. And it's a chunky one, too. Look at that. All right, so let's go ahead and open this up. There's a description on the back, probably. Okay, here we are. What is inside? The campaign dossier set contains 3-panel keeper screen. Oh, cool. Evidence board, 18 persona portraits, 37 index card handouts, 62 lore sheets, 25 pre-gen character sheets, and 8 full-page handout sheets. These materials complement the Blessed and the Blasphemous campaign book and can be adapted to use in any Call of Cthulhu game setting. All right, so open. Ooh, see, it's like I said, it's a big one, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to slide off for the first time. And there we are. So what do we have here? This is the GM screen. Ooh, and it's not a flimsy piece of cardboard. It is a real GM screen with some beautiful old school travel style posters on the back. Morocco, see beautiful Irem, and Mers El Kabir. This is fantastic. Oh my God. I assume the other side is campaign specific. Oh, there's my dogs. All right, so what do you get in this? Okay, so it's got weapons, which I assume are specific to the campaign, risk counters, and then additional info, including vehicles, Arabic and Amazigh names, examples of sanity point costs, and climate of Morocco. So yeah, very, very helpful. GM screens kind of are 50-50 on what they provide. Things that you feel are necessary as opposed to things just maybe a bit superfluous. But it's not huge either, so it definitely can be utilized next to your current Call of Cthulhu GM screen, which, in my opinion, is one of the best out there, hands down, without it taking too much extra space. And, of course, you have the immersive artwork on the back. Excellent. Very, very nice, gents. This is beautiful. All right, so what else do we get inside? All right, we have all of the additional handouts. Is this taped shut or sealed? It seems like it is. Oh, is that a fold? There's a fold. All right. There we go. A lot of papers. I'll just set you here for now. All righty. What do we have? Are these the pre-gens? I think. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you can reference it within the book. But so just kind of flip these over and take a quick look at them. See if I recognize any of the people that backed the game by their portrait. Maybe, I don't know. Carrying on. Interesting. Okay, so I think these are these. I can't tell if these are the NPCs or pre-gens, but okay, so NPCs. And then continuing on, we got some information regarding the handouts. And there's a lot of them, a lot. All right, kind of get through those. All right, scenario 2 lore sheets. We've got a menu for Chloe's Cafe, French and Moroccan cuisine. More lore sheets. More NPCs. There's that newspaper handout that I noticed. And we've got more NPCs, handouts, NPCs. We've got, say, information on an auction, which looks like takes place within the game. And more NPCs. And is that the end of that? Yes. All right. So those are the NPCs. Then we've got cards. Fun time cards. What do we got here? We got little teeny tiny cards with pictures on them. Interesting. And then these portraits. I'm going to open these. And let's see here. Where is my trusty Coleman camping steak knife? To the rescue. Going in. Oof. There we are. Open you up. Okay, so. Okay, so maps. Okay, these are handout cards. Interesting. They're they're done as cards, which is kind of cool. I mean, obviously, something like this would be difficult for me to read, but that's because my eyes are starting to go south. But for the most part, they're legible, well detailed. Nice constructed cards. This isn't just cheap perforated things that you tear out, which is nice. I like this style. A nice way to keep your handouts organized and easily accessible. And my guess is these are the additional portraits. So, all right. So yeah, excellent. These are wonderful handouts. These are not just extra fluff. This is something that's going to help make your game a lot easier to run and operate with when you decide to run this massive scenario for your players. Throw you back in, set that aside, and let's get our book back. And there we go. So, gents, Sons of the Singularity, another top-notch fulfillment here. Very, very happy and content with what you provided, and so glad that I backed another one of your projects. You guys do not fail. Obviously, it's there'll be more details on that once I start reading the scenario, but I can be a little bit biased when it comes to people I know and friends. But again, if it's as well written and well detailed, well researched, and as their prior scenarios, I don't have any doubt that I'm going to enjoy this. Of course, if there was only one negative aspect to this would be it is a large scenario, so this would obviously be something that I would need to set aside time for, and something that I would need to make sure that I've got proper players to run this campaign that are willing to go through it from beginning to end. But you never know. We'll see how that rolls out. I have run longer campaigns, and that haven't been an issue, and shorter campaigns that completely fall apart after a couple sessions. Not to me, never. It's always the player's fault. Anyways, there you go. This has been yet another completely unprofessional unboxing with the Blessed and the Blasphemous, a Call of Cthulhu scenario by the wonderful Sons of the Singularity. If you like this video, please like it. And if you enjoy this channel, please subscribe. It would be much appreciated. And likewise, if you get a moment, check out the Titterpigs podcast, the tabletop RPG podcast I co-host with Keith from Rolling Boxcars, as we talk about a variety of topics and discussions and interviews. And also look forward to more things on this particular channel, as I'm going to be doing more deep dives. One of the things that I'm going to be doing a deep dive into is the Enchanted World, the collection of Time Life books that I have, and talk about how this was a gateway for a lot of people into the hobby, as these books came out prior to us getting into role-playing games, but have continued to be an inspiration and a source of information for us from from the 80s well through today. So take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Click stop. My mouse froze. There we go. Take care.